This conference
So,
will
good morning,
now be
everyone,
recorded.
and a very warm welcome. Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the National Conference on the topic Life in 2020s Social, Cultural, and Economic Dimensions, organized by Department of Economics, Sacred Heart College, Chalakudy. A teeny tiny virus whose origin remains unknown has disrupted life across the globe since its inception, cutting across all spheres of life. The COVID-19 pandemic engendered a once-in-a-century global crisis, and our life is undoubtedly in a new normal. Hence, it's intriguing and imperative to look into the social, cultural, and economic dimensions of life in 2020s. I'm Krishna Geethanes, College Union Chairperson, and our program schedule includes the welcome address, inauguration and inaugural address, keynote address, a technical session, and paper presentation. Attendees kindly note that there will be two paper presentations conducted live and the rest will be played as recording online. The feedback link will be shared at the end of the session. Please ensure you fill it to receive your e-certificates of participation. Now, to kickstart our conference, I invite Dr. Shelley Jose K., IQAC Coordinator and Associate Professor of Economics at Sacred Heart College, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Krishna Geeti. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
you
sir,
are
audible. You are audible.
Okay, thank you very much. A very good morning to all of you and a very warm welcome to the National Conference on Life in the 2020s, Social, Cultural and Economic Dimensions. Making rules and breaking rules is how we sum up the last 14 months since March 2020 when the lockdown began and changed the world. The pandemic, we know, divided mankind into those who cared and those who did not. National economies collapsed. The past year has taught us the meaning of 20 seconds. Yes, that's how long you should be washing your hands. And the pandemic also brought forth a burst of flavor into the humble home kitchen, online shopping, work from home, etc. The mobile phone internet duo brought about tectonic shifts in how we work, how we communicate, and every other facet of our life. Our smartphones were our windows to the physical world, and physical classrooms became somewhat redundant after e-learning brought schooling home along with the Zoom boom. We also observed changes in behavioral patterns of the consumers and the manufacturers. And we know what the economic impact was, especially in case of India. We know that the IMF lowered India's growth forecast to 4.8% in 2019-20. Small and medium enterprises were hard hit. The healthcare sector, which is the fourth largest employment provider, also suffered 90% losses. And the economic downturn severely affected the people from lower socioeconomic stratum, the migrants who migrate to different parts of India for work. And we know that foreign remittances have also fallen. So on the whole, we know that India also has been severely affected. There has been an increase in overall poverty. There also has been a worsening of socio-economic inequalities and a compromise in health-related precautions. So to talk about all these varied aspects of this particular virus, which was accidental, it was a kind of accidental global experiment which was forced upon us by an invisible virus. It seems that it is here to stay. So to talk about different dimensions of life in the 2020s, we have a very distinguished panel. Today, to inaugurate this national conference and deliver the inaugural address, we have a power-packed personality whose words, I'm sure, will enlighten us on the varied dimensions of life in the 2020s. She is none other than Dr. Sandeep Kaur, who is an associate professor in the Department of Economic Studies, School of Social Sciences, Central University of Punjab. Dr. Sandeep Kaur has served in various colleges and universities before joining the Central University of Punjab. She has a large number of research publications in Indian and international journals, has co-authored chapters in books, and is also the author of 2 books. Dr. Sandeep has completed 5 research projects and 2 are still ongoing. She has organized a number of seminars and conferences and webinars and is also a reviewer of many journals. Dr. Sandeep is also the recipient of grants and awards like the Indo-Canadian Shastri Fellowship Grant, the Best Paper Presentation Award at a national conference in Hyderabad, and the Research Award in Humanities and Social Sciences, Central University of Punjab in 2019-20. She has also been a resource person for a number of talks and lectures and has authored 2 articles in newspapers and magazines. 31 students have completed their MPhil and 7 students have completed or enrolled for PhD under her guidance. Dr. Sandeep has also presented papers in a long list of national and international seminars and conferences. There is much more. Actually, I have all summarized it into a few words. On behalf of the Department of Economics and on behalf of Sacred Heart College, Chalakudy, as well as on behalf of all the participants in this conference, I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Sandeep Kaur to this national conference. To deliver the keynote address today, we have with us today an illustrious personality, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh, who is an assistant professor and a designate associate professor in the reader scale in the Department of Commerce, Bharathidasan Government College for Women, Autonomous, Puducherry. Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh has 25 years of teaching experience in graduate and postgraduate classes. He has served as assistant professor in many premier institutions in Bhopal, in India, and in Mahi. His areas of specialization are in taxation, accounting, costing, and financial management. Besides being a PhD holder, he has an MBA in finance from Pondicherry and a PG diploma in financial tax management. Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh is directly associated with the ICAI, the ICSI, and the ICWAI for various academic and professional activities. He has to his credit more than 80 research publications in leading national and international journals and is a life member of distinguished academic associations. Dr. Pradeep Kumar has participated and presented research papers in more than 46 international and national conferences and seminars, including 2 seminars in Indian Institute of Management, Indore. Sir is the recipient of the Distinguished Medal for the research paper at the 28th All India Accounting Conference at Hyderabad and also the winner of Young Researcher Award 2005 conferred by the Indian Accounting Association. He was also awarded the Silver Medal for Best Business Academic of the Year Award in 2008 by the Indian Commerce Association. Dr. Pradeep also earned the Best Research Paper Award by the University of Calicut in 2015. He has completed UGC-funded research projects, served as a resource person for many events, conducted national-level faculty development programs, online broadcasting programs on different topics, which was broadcast in 67 countries in 2019. On behalf of the Department of Economics and on behalf of Sacred Heart College and the attendees in this conference, I accord a very warm welcome to Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh to this national conference. The chairperson of the technical session in today's national conference is Dr. Anna Martin, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Economics, AKIS, Pune College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Pune. We have already associated with her in conducting a national webinar in December 2020. She has a teaching experience of more than 10 years in different institutions. Dr. Anna has completed a number of courses and successfully organized and coordinated international webinars and national symposiums. She has published a number of papers and chapters in reputed books, along with many papers published in conferences and seminars. She has also presented papers in national and international journals and has participated in many national and international seminars, webinars, and workshops. On behalf of the Department of Economics and Sacred Heart College, I extend my heartfelt welcome to Dr. Anna to this national conference. Next, I would like to welcome our head of the department and my dear colleague, Dr. Chaco Jose, who will be proposing the vote of thanks today in our national conference. Dr. Chaco Jose is the spindle and the forge around which the Department of Economics revolves. I extend a very warm welcome to you, Chaco. I also extend my heartfelt welcome to Mr. Nigel Jacobi, Assistant Professor, who is the paper presentation moderator in today's conference. He is the man behind the scenes, and he provides all the technical support necessary for us in the smooth conduct of all our webinars, seminars, and conferences. I also extend my warm welcome to my colleagues in the Department of Economics, Ms. Ginny Thomas and Ms. Nicey Jose. I extend my heartfelt welcome to Ms. Krishna Geedi, who is the College Union Chairperson and also our third BA student, who will be the program moderator in today's conference. Last but not the least, I welcome all the attendees and participants from different colleges and educational institutions all over India, and also my dear students. Once again, welcoming all to this national conference and hoping it will be a fruitful session for all of us. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Shirley ma'am, for doing the honors. With utmost delight, we also welcome you, Tina ma'am. Now, for the inauguration and inaugural address, I cordially invite Dr. Sandeep Kaur, Associate Professor and Head of Department of Economic Studies, Central University of Punjab, Bathinda, India. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jose, for such a kind words regarding welcome address. I am really thankful. First of all, very good morning, Dr. Jose, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, keynote speaker, Dr. Chaco Jose, HOD of the Department of Economic Study, Dr. Anna, Mr. Jacobi, Ms. Krishna Nijari, and dear participants and dear faculty members. I really thankful the organizers of the Sacred Heart College for inviting me in an inaugural address in the National Conference Life in 2020's Social, Culture and Economic Dimensions. First of all, I want to congratulate the theme chosen for the conference is very relevant. I congratulate the organizers and HOD for organizing a conference on such a innovative theme, which is the need of the hour. Before starting my inaugural address, I want to just ask that whether my PPT is visible to everyone.
See, your PPT is not visible at the moment. I think you can try representing.
Okay. I think it is visible now.
Yeah,
it is visible.
Yeah. The theme chosen, I have, as per the conference theme, I have selected the theme for the inaugural address, COVID-19 and Indian economy, possible lessons and challenges. See, we all know that COVID-19 pandemic has affected every aspect of the life, social, economic, culture, and many other things. Not only the economic crisis associated with COVID-19 is unexpected, but also cultural impact is really extraordinary. And in view of that, I have selected this theme, and where I will share my research experiences, and that will be fruitful for Kerala economy also. And from Kerala economies, I have shared some experiences which will be fruitful for Punjab economy also. I cannot move my slides. I cannot move my slides.
Yeah, let me just check whether I have to do anything from here. One moment, please. From our end, you are the host, so let me just. Okay, can you just switch off your presentation and try once more? Just log out. Yeah, I think now it works. Is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we look into the COVID-19 and world economy scenes, it has been observed that there's a sharp recession in many countries when COVID-19 has attacked in many countries. And it is known as steepest slowdown in the Great Depression, especially if we will compare with the 1930s. World Bank's Global Outlook report has mentioned that it would be a deepest recession as 5.2% contraction in gross GDP in 2020, and near about global economy will shrink by 3% as per the IMF report. And IMF also suggested that it will be more harder for that economies which are already facing falling down before COVID-19. Now come to the situation of COVID-19 in 2020. In 2020, first wave, various statistical agencies, including Ministry of Statistics, World Bank, rating agencies, State Bank of India, have estimated India's growth picture as a dismal picture. It has been known as exaggerated pre-existing economic outlook for Indian economy as per the World Bank. And it even State Bank of India has estimated that India's GDP will contract by 40% in first quarter of 2021. And Global Economic Prospects reports expect that India's GDP is contracted by 3.2% in 2021. And the most dismal picture is of unemployment in India. If you look into the two scenarios in May 20, when first wave has come down, it was 24% unemployment rate, because due to lockdown, shutdown of the business, and Indian economy is basically informal economy, and where most of the people, most especially migrant people, have to go to their destination places. And now the recent survey in May 21, it has been estimated that 9%. But can we think much beyond that? For that, I have analyzed certain recent reports. Recent RBI report has told that the second wave will not much severe. because it is a more impact on aggregate demand than on aggregate supply. If here I will cite the report of Azim Premji University State of Working India 2021, I'm not wrong. That report is telling us that increase in unemployment level, poverty and inequality has increased, decrease in income level, though during second wave, people have joined back, but their income level has decreased, and it is more disproportionately women has much affected by this downturn. And the very recent paper from Veermani and Anam, they have explained that our service exports also have come down, and especially travel, transport and financial services hit harder. If we think in all these parameters, and as Indian economy is known as agriculture, it has hit badly. And therefore, my next slides will go for Indian agriculture, especially putting out the Punjab agriculture scenario and the lessons for Kerala. You will see that the COVID-19 and COVID-19 has impacted every sector of the economy, agriculture, manufacture, services, because hotels and restaurants were closed, totally shut down, schools were closed, colleges were closed, migrants have to go back, and there was no any plan for the lockdown. People, aggregate demand has shut down, and the sector, agriculture sector, which Indian population depends on nearly 50%, and the Punjab economy, which is known for a famous economy for in agriculture sector, which is a food bowl of the country, and the green revolution has given a remarkable progress for Punjab economy, and after that it is a food bowl for wheat and rice for each and every citizen of the India. And here I want to show some scenario of Punjab agriculture. Why I want to show this scenario? Because I want to tell you that Punjab agriculture, people have put a lot of efforts. After Green Revolution, Punjab has to put out for diversification things. Not only wheat and paddy, not only wheat and rice, but cereals, fruits and vegetables, dairy activities. Punjab farmers were encouraged to too much. But what has happened? COVID-19 has put our diversification as a hit. And it hit very badly. In such a scenario, once we are looking for the diversification part of Punjab agriculture, where irrigation intensity, cropped area have increased a large level due to use of more fertilizer, due to mechanization of agriculture. But this pandemic has hit hardly to our Punjab agriculture scenario. Especially the Punjab economy from monocrop culture, means wheat and paddy to people have come, farmers have adopted fruits and vegetables at a very difficulty level, and many livestock activities also farmers have been encouraged, so that they will put up a lot of other activities, and we shouldn't depend on only agriculture sector. Now seen what has happened on the COVID-19, the first lockdown, when nobody could go out or in, demand has hit badly to the economy. The Punjab state, which is known as the 13th largest dairy market in India, the milk price has come down from rupees 40 per liter to 20-30 per liter. And many milkmen in Punjab, what has happened? They have just fallen down their milk due to their anger and due to the slipping down the prices. On the other part, once the prices of their product has come down, the raw materials, they are not getting enough raw materials, and the raw materials feed for the animals, it has doubled, it has increased a large level. The diversification which Punjab is doing at a very hard level, people have sold their cows and buffaloes, they have lost this profession, they have left their dairy activities part, and come to the fruits and vegetables, which I was just telling you in my last slides, that farmers have been encouraged for diversification. They should come out of the crisis for monoculture, wheat and paddy. They should adopt fruits and vegetables. But what has happened? How the farmers will believe on the economy? The decrease in demand for fruits and vegetables due to lockdown, due to shut off the hotels and restaurants, and due to immediate decrease in the demand, prices of vegetables get slipped to its lowest level. Even vegetables were used as a fodder. And the same thing, just like milk products have been fallen on the ground, on the roads, similarly, farmers have just dropped out all the vegetables on the grounds. And we have seen in the newspapers, the situation was very dismal and very poor, because there was no marketing over there. People couldn't able to cover the input cost. Here I want to tell you some innovative approaches have been adopted. There are the number of e-mart channels who have adopted this e-marketing of vegetables. Swiggy, Zomato, Big Bazaar, Vishal, Mega Mart, they have done the exercises for the home delivery, but no, full demand cannot be matched up. And now come to the poultry stock. Near about 550 poultry farms in Punjab, and they running out of bird feed which includes millets, maize, soybean cake, mustard cake, stone, and so many medicines. All are unavailable in the market. What has happened? Many birds were murdered or killed. They couldn't get a proper price over there. And because in Punjab, nearby states, we get these bird feed, millet and maize, but due to lockdown, they couldn't able to get the bird feed. And what has happened regarding the prices of chicken? Just the price which was before lockdown rupees 70 to 80, it has come down rupees 15, rupees 20. And what has happened? That people became more poor. They couldn't manage their poultry stock activities. In light of this, I want to tell you about the Kerala's report. I was reading one report, quick assessment impact of COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown on Kerala's. I have highlighted certain points regarding this, because Kerala economy depends on other states for food and other food crops, and they want that we should take the lessons. But here you can see the story. We have abundant in supply in each and everything. We have abundant in supply in milk. We have abundant supply in our poultry things. We have abundant supply in fruit and vegetables, but we couldn't able to do that because there is a need to understand procurement. There's a need to understand how to supply chain management. The innovative approaches are required for the Indian economies. And I have seen that in this report, especially it is written that we should need the strengthen regarding commodities, eggs and meat. And same thing has happened in Punjab's economy. In Punjab's economies, we have a sufficient chicken, sufficient, but we couldn't manage all these things because due to decrease in price. But if we have a good procurement, good cold storage, we can manage all these things, and we can able to understand the demand scenario and supply scenario. And therefore there's a need of the hour to understand our supply chain management and procurement, that is to be strengthened in specially diversified activities in agriculture. Now come to the environmental degradation part in amidst COVID-19. Why here I want to cite this? You will also seen this. Really, climate change has affected to each and every corner of the economy, to global world also, and agriculture also affected through climate change. And what has happened in special, again I am citing here Punjab economy, which I will tell again for the Kerala's economy. Kerala's economy is also, we cannot say that it doesn't depend on the pesticide use. And what has happened, due to climate change, the cotton crop has failure in 2015-16 in Punjab economy. People have started to opt more pesticides. What has happened, even they have left the crop, cotton crop, and they start to move paddy, which is a water intensive crop, and it has degraded the soil also. And because paddy stubble is a big problem, and because people have shifted from cotton to paddy, what has happened, that the air pollution is a big problem for them, and health problem has emergence, and similarly cost of living of the farmers has increased. Means by using of pesticides we are under the vicious circle. We cannot leave out this pesticide use, and the most problem will come when we have a lot of other problems are there. You can see the many scientific reports where it is written that many people do the pesticide poisoning, and there's a lot of cancer prevalence has happened. Reproductive abnormalities and miscarriages are also due to high consumption of pesticides, and premature hair graying and neurological and behavioral disorders. And what we are giving to the people who are directly exposed to the pesticides only increase in ₹30. You can see that the average wages, which I have done for the Punjab survey, that normal wages are ₹267 per day. But for wages paid who spray the pesticides directly, he is getting ₹310. Means life is only for more than 30 rupees. And you can see, moreover, in India there is a number of studies has happened. Still we are using banned pesticides. Under banned pesticides, glyphosate is very popular, which is a banned in many developed countries, but in India it is coming, and people are, it is in a great demand. And the most sad part is farmers don't know how to do it, how to use it. They are using with the naked hands. Just they are putting their health at a risk for spraying these pesticides. And if I will put here COVID-19 scenario, the recent paper, I was looking for this paper, that Wali Muhammad and its co-author, if you will not use of the safe pesticides, it will weak our immune system, and immune system is too important to fight with the COVID-19 patients. So how environmental degradation problems, how climate change problems are affecting to our day-to-day lives. Now next problem, the most important problem, which has come especially for the states where migrant laborers are working. And here the similar position of Punjab and Kerala, both are similar position. In Punjab, scarcity of labor is too much. And especially the problem is because during that moment the season of paddy was there, which is a labor intensive activity, and most of the migrant workers are doing all this activity. But here before keeping into other picture of this scarcity of a labor as a challenge, I want to tell you that what has happened Due to increase in paddy cultivation, our water table, Punjab's water table has gone down, and that's why Punjab government is encouraging people to do it for direct seed rising. Like Kerala, here is not a wetland, here it is a dry land, but that type of activities which mitigate climate change, that is the need of the hour. And what has happened, you can see that before looking into these Kerala's targets, where we have seen that we under this report that paddy cultivation has to increase, vegetable production has to increase, but they have to read about the climate change adaptation strategies. Means they want more crops to more types of rice is required. For that, Punjab has taken it as a challenge. Why so? It as a challenge, direct seed rice. What is a direct seed rice? Direct seed rice doesn't need much labor and much water. And during COVID-19, we encourage the farmers to adopt this technology. And around 12 lakh laborers, which are coming from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and Jharkhand, for paddy transplantation through manually. Now this was a major challenge, because we cannot call them back for paddy cultivation, and that's why this time farmers have been encouraged to grow for DSR. And what has happened, and from this experience, Kerala also can get the lessons, where Kerala's report is saying that they want to increase their more types of more area, more types of paddy they want to grow to increase. But what has happened? Never in Punjab farmers have encouraged for overwhelming response for DSR. They are always feeling hesitate. They don't want to use this direct seeding rice, which consumes less water. Farmers have adopted both technology, traditional plantation as well as DSR technology. And what has happened? Due to less consumption of water, weeds growth, and farmers were not aware of this technology, how to remove these weeds, and they even use more pesticide. Means again we are in that crisis positions. And moreover, in COVID-19, the DSR machines are not available. So they have hired machines of DSR from large farmers, means it has increased their cost. And even some farmers have modified existing machines. You can see that these are some machines they have just modified by putting some tires into it and some paddles into it, so that it would work like a DSR machine. What I want to convey here, when Kerala's economy wants to look for more area for paddy, they have to face many challenges. Though Kerala model is a big example for especially in health infrastructure, especially for cashew and plantation crops, and we are learning as very much from Kerala's economies, but there are some similarities in Punjab economies and Kerala's economies, where we can get the things to be done at a speedy level or as a specially recovery level. And moreover, the dissemination of knowledge is very much required. Due to this lockdown and COVID-19, we should all learn that how the information should be provided. In Punjab, if I will say that every farmer have a smartphone, I don't think so. For Punjab, farmers don't have. I don't know much about the Kerala. Means these types of a technology development is required for agriculture purposes, for education purposes, for industrial purposes, so that we can reach to the at the ground level to understand all these facts. Now Now I will club all these points that need to understand our rebalance the economies, and many suggestions have been given. And if I will see that we have given the fiscal stimulus to the economy also, but now question is how we are taking these packages as the important packages. Need to understand, rethink and redesign to every economy. Though I have given some examples from Punjab and some examples from Kerala's economies where we can understand, but there are many other states where the other type of problems are there, and therefore we have to think on the micro level or micro level so that we can reach to the poorest level. Health infrastructure must be done. Now the priority is our health infrastructure. Punjab and Kerala, they have one more similarity. That's Kerala's peoples are mostly going to the Gulf countries, and Punjab's people are mostly going to the Canada. And now they come back. Then again unemployment level has increased, and now they want to go back, but we don't have a vaccination properly. These all things are required to understand. And what is more important, now we need more foreign investment, but it is important that we should understand how we have to spend it. Now it is better that we should understand whether we want livelihood which has affected badly, or what if we want to understand that we should prioritize health rather than we can understand each and every scenario which this conference theme is very fruitful to understand that how it is impacting our socio-economic and cultural lives. And we have to think of all the grounds, and this COVID-19 pandemic has given us some special chance to understand what we have to do next. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello.
Thank you, madam. Hello. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the insightful session. Hello. Can you?
Yes, Krishnagiri, you can continue.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Sandeep Kaur, for that insightful session. Now for the keynote address, it's my honor to invite Dr. Pradeep Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Bharati Dasan College of Women, Autonomous, Puducherry. He has 25 years teaching experience of graduate and postgraduate classes. He served as Assistant Professor in Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Rajiv Gandhi College, Bhopal, and the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, one of Bhopal premier institutions in central India. He was also selected as lecturer for accounting for the Faculty of Management, Masoon College of Management and Applied Sciences, Muscat, Sultanate of Oman in the year 2003. His areas of specialization are in taxation, accountancy, costing, and financial management. He is a recipient of Young Researcher Award 2005 conferred by Indian Accounting Association. He was awarded with the Best Research Paper Award by University of Calicut in 2015. He was also awarded with the Best Business Academic of the Year Award 2008 by Indian Commerce Association. With eager eyes and utmost respect, over to you, sir.
Just one moment before we go over to Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh. I would like to thank Dr. Sandeep Kaur for her excellent presentation as a keynote address, as an inaugural address. It was really interesting to listen to a very rare comparison between two states that are normally not compared, but has many similarities and also many dissimilarities. So comparing the scenario of agriculturists in Punjab and Kerala, it was really insightful. we got very insightful information into the economy, the functioning of the economy of Punjab and Kerala, and the similarities and dissimilarities, the challenges. So there are many solutions that are commonly applicable, especially when it comes to migrant laborers and when it comes to migrant laborers from other states and migrants from the state to say UAE or Canada. So I hope the insights given by Dr. Sandeep Kaur could be extremely useful in policy making. And again, we are all sure that that is one of the major issues that the both economies are facing in the 2020s. In 2020s, we will have to face with this problem of how to manage the migrants who are return migrants, and also we will have to see what we will be able to do for their rehabilitation. So I would once again like to thank Dr. Sandeep Kaur for inaugurating the conference and delivering the inaugural address on behalf of the Department of Economics, Sacred Heart College, and on my personal behalf. I thank her for her address. Thank you. Now it is over to Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh. Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh is a very good friend of mine, so I am extremely happy that he is here to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, Dr. Pradeep.
So, thank you, sir. First of all, thanks to principal and management of the college for organizing this program and giving me this opportunity. Thanks to Madam Sandeep Kaur for a very nice inaugural speech. And thanks to IQSE coordinator and student coordinator and everybody. So let us start with theme. I think, can you see my PPT? Sir?
Yeah, now it is visible. Now it is visible.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So before I can start, as Chaco sir told, he's not my friend, he's my senior, he's my mentor, and we have a long association from last 15 years. Even though our area is different, I'm from commerce side, sir is from economics side. And when I was doing my orientation course in 2007, Calicut University, so sir was there as a coordinator, as a reader. Since then, I have a long association. So thank you very much, sir. So come to the point, national conference, and I'm going to discuss about the what is the business environment and how especially it is going to affect the retail banking. And as you know, madam, she had given a very good background how it is going to affect agriculture and other part of the economics. So now it's easy for me to correlate how it is very useful for business environment and what are the area where COVID is affecting. And I'm taking a very important area. What is the retail banking and what are the challenges in this particular situation? So now, in the last 1.5 years, what is my observation? What is happening in the business environment? So it is my general observation now work from home is very popular. I'm not going to explain what is COVID and everything. Now all of you are familiar. So now what happened in business environment? So work from home is now one of the essential feature, especially when I'm talking to IT sector. So I think in IT sector, more than 90% work they are doing work from home. Now it is a reality. So it is a big change in the, business environment. And what is the effect? Many companies, they are minimizing their office space. Suppose earlier they need 10,000 square feet for their office. So now they are managing with 3 to 4,000 because a lot of work done by the employees from home. So their office space is shrinking. So in that way, it is affecting real estate sector. Similarly, medicine, many doctors, they are going for telemedicine. For general consultation, you can use telemedicine. Appointment we are taking over phone or over internet, and through Google or any other medium, face-to-face discussion, except till it is not a very essential situation. Education, now our entire teaching is probably, I can say, 95 to 97%, except in the science, practical and all, almost everything is going online. So this is one of the big change. Then many board meetings are online permitted by the MC. I think in case of companies, within every 3 months they have to conduct a board of meeting, I mean board of directors meeting. So now Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they had permitted, even it was permitted before COVID also, but nowadays it is essential. So all the board meetings are happen through video conferencing or through Google Meet or Zoom or whatever online platform. And most important, many PhD vivas are online. So from last 1.5 year, most important academic degree PhD, that viva is happening in online. What I'm trying to say, all these activities directly, indirectly, they are affecting the different economic activities. For example, earlier for PhD viva, expert is coming, staying in a hotel, and after viva, this get together, so nearly 40 to 50,000 rupees expenditure, which goes to the economy in different way. Now it is shrinking to an online mode. So only e-commerce, or I can say IT sector, they are going to benefit, but other sector indirectly they are losing their business. So from candidate point of view, from other point of view, it's a very economical, very cheap, but at the same time, other business activities, other business forms, they are losing business. Similarly, financial restructuring of business, such as a restructuring of salary, as we know, even in Kerala government, they had cut it 20% salary for the last 5 months. Private sector nearly 30 to 40% they had cut their salary. Even if they are not cutting salary, they are cutting your allowances and many facilities. This has happened, this is the reality. So what happened, when an employee is getting lower salary, automatically other part of the economy is also going to be affected. Similarly, being a government employee, we are not getting our DA from last 1.5 year. So it is a 37,000 crore rupees saved by the government. It's a good thing. I'm not criticizing, but that money government is utilizing for COVID purpose, but another way employees they are losing. So employees where they are going to invest or spend this money, that business activities are losing their business. Similarly, strategic HRM, such as restructuring of workforce. Earlier a place where we need 10 people, now many restaurant, many companies, they are using only 5 to 6 people, because most of the work they are using online. So this is again impact of COVID, because many people they are losing their job, and those who are staying, those who are very key employees, so for them managing in a particular business is very important. That is why companies they are going for very aggressive talent management. Those who are key employees, their demand even in COVID period is more. So how companies they are going to retain these people, that is another challenge. Then changing dimension of marketing management, like online order booking, even kirana, grocery items. Even before COVID, we are booking, but nowadays density is more and more. Nearly 80 to 90% orders we are booking online, over telephone, over Facebook. And this network of supply chain management drastically changed in this COVID period, from top level companies to small companies. Similarly, boom in e-commerce activity that we observe, whether it is a Swaggy, whether it is a Zomato, whether it is Amazon. Amazon is getting more than 40% business in the last 1.5 year. This is another, I mean, that kind of companies, they have a larger benefit. Similarly, more spending on medical infrastructure, that is known to everybody. Because of this COVID, government is spending crores of rupees on, once again, to restructure the medical facilities. So that area is booming, whether it is a medicine, whether it is a, what is called ventilator, or whether any kind of other equipment. Then increases in online banking activities. So banking companies, even though before COVID all these facilities were there, but nowadays even a common man is using more and more online payment, online banking activity, because it is a compulsion to stay in a home. So nearly 30 to 40% activities are increases in this particular period. And another important area is cost management and innovation. Because of COVID, your demand is less. So how you are going to minimize your cost? So different cost management strategies adopted by the different companies. At the same time, many companies, they went for innovation, innovative product, like sanitizer machines came, automatic machines came. Similarly, in many retail sector, they are using different innovation and how to manage their cash flow, because many, especially if I can say tour and travel, restaurant industry, hotel industry, they are badly affected, so they are going for their cash management. What I mean to say, these are very, very general observation in the last 1.5 year, what is happening in the commerce and business activities. And most affected business activities and entities are financial institution and bank, because many people, as I told, salary cuts are there, many people, they are losing their job. So whatever their regular EMIs, whatever their predetermined commitment to the bank, that they are not able to fulfill, and because of that, bank people, they are not getting their liquidity. I mean, they are not getting their proper EMI, and once they are not getting proper EMI, so they have a loss in two dimension. First, they are losing interest, which is their operating income that they are losing. At the same time, they are not getting their principal amount, which they are going to lend somebody else in this particular situation. So banking, and especially retail banking, is directly more affected. So now I'm going to concentrate on retail banking, what is retail banking and how COVID is affecting, and what are the precaution or what are the challenges happen and how to overcome with all these. So I think all of you are aware, retail banking is nothing. It is a provision of banking product and services to the individual customer. I think in economics, all of you are familiar. In 19th July 91, India, we had started this globalization reforms, opening of economy. And at the same time, banking sector was also open. So earlier what happened, entire banking was concentrated banking. Banking companies, they are giving more loan to the industries, big business houses. Retail loans were there, but they are not as today it is available. So 91, especially 94 onward, retail banking changed significantly and large number of innovative product in the market. So retail banking involve offering the different type of personal housing loan, auto loan, educational loan, credit cards, demat account facility, para banking product, insurance product. Likewise, that n number of products came because of this particular scenario. What I'm trying to say, from 94 onward, nearly in the last 26, 28 year, a lot of changes happen in the retail banking. I can give one example. In the year 94, 95, housing loan was 18%. Your car loan was 14 to 16%. And today, what is the situation? Within 7 to 8%, housing and car loans are available. So that kind of drastic changes happen in the retail banking, like that. And these are the retail banking product. In retail banking, what happened? We have a multiple product, various types of deposit, various types of credit card and debit card, insurance product. Maybe unit linked insurance products are also there, which are the part of the investment and securities and all. So what I'm trying to say, nowadays banks, they are not only doing banking work. Apart from bank, they are doing all these work for the retail customer. Similarly, they are using multiple channel of distribution, like they are using call centers, they are using micro or satellite branches, they are using internet, they are using kiosk like ATM machine and all. And most important, they are using POPs, point of purchase, like this swipe machine and all. So what I mean to say, all kind of facilities they are providing to the customer to attract their business. And similarly, they have a multiple customer group. Once upon a time, nobody is talking about a student, if I can say 30 year before. But nowadays, a student, they are the one of the large group of customer because of educational loan and all. And many of the student, you may not aware, 15 year before, this educational loan was not available. It came only just 14, 15 year before. And because of that, education industry is having a big boom. Even a poor student who don't have a ready cash, once he or she is getting admission in IITs, NITs or IIM, with one signature, 15 to 20 lakh rupees educational loans are available. So in that way, student is a new customer. Normal consumers, which we are there, small business people, corporate, and within small business people nowadays, government is having more focus on MSMEs. So MSMEs, they are the largest customer for nowadays banks, and bank people, they are more concentrating on retail customer, because in the last 30 year, middle income people, middle class is raising very significantly, and lower middle class is also enhancing day by day. So these are the largest customer for retail banking. So when I'm talking about retail banking, there are two concepts: mass retail banking and class retail banking. So nowadays, what retail banking we are saying, basically it is a mass retail banking, means a similar type of product for all the common people, whether a middle class, lower middle class, or little bit poor class family and all. But earlier we have a class retail banking, if I can say, when late Srimati Indira Gandhi, they nationalized the business, nationalization of banking industry. Before that, most of the private bank, they are working for a particular group of business people. At that time, that concept was their retail class. Nowadays also retail class banking is there, means like in SBI and some bank, if you are depositing more than 1 crore rupees, an exclusive an exclusive an exclusive employees available for your day to day finance and to manage your all investment activities and all. So this is also known as private banking. But nowadays what happened, most of the focus is on mass retail banking rather than class retail banking, like that. So this is the structure of Indian retail banking. So banking is divided for two groups: for individual people and for firms and companies. Again, in the individual, it is divided in retail and entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial means those who are a small businessman and all. And within the retail, you can see mass retail banking and class retail banking. So my main focus is on this mass retail banking area, which is related to the middle class and lower middle class family. And what kind of significant changes happen in the last 1.5 year because of this COVID situation. Now the question is why we need retail banking in India. So I just want to explain some basic factors like economic prosperity and increases in the purchasing power, especially in the last 2 decades. I will give one example. In the year 91, a government college assistant professor is getting salary nearly 3,100 rupees per month, just 30 year before. And today's same person is getting more than 1,50,000, and if he is becoming associate professor, almost salary is 1,80,000 rupees per month. What I'm trying to say, in the last 3 decades, significant changes happen in the salary income, not only in government job, even in private job, even in other job, like that. So because of that, middle class people, they have a lot of money that they can use either in a form of expenses or investment, whatever may be. Then changing customer demography, large young population is coming in India. When we analyze, 45% population is between the age of 15 to 40 year age group, which is not happen in anywhere of the world. So because of when consumer demography is changing, and these are the people nowadays, what is the situation? The moment a boy and girl is completing BTech or MCom, they are getting more or less some kind of job, so they have a disposable income. So at the age of 22, 23, people, they are earning, and within a 2 year they are buying cars and flat, and they are paying EMI. What I'm trying to say, the moment you have a larger young generation, they are the earner, so automatically they are the larger customer for the bank. Similarly, technological development like credit card, net banking, phone banking, and 5 years before, all these facilities were very rare, and especially in the last 20 years, a boom came for all these areas. So because of that also retail banking is more popular. Similarly, treasury income of banks, like they are capturing the uncovered part of the society. For example, in 2014, government of India, they had opened this Jan Dhan account, zero balance account for every BPL families and all. And now government is transferring all the money, DBT, direct benefit transfer, to all these accounts. Similarly, poor people also 100, 200 rupees per month they are saving in various product, whether it is a SIP or mutual fund, whatever may be. What I'm trying to say, earlier a customer who is not captured by the bank, now they are also in the banking net, and it is one kind of directly, indirectly income for the banks. Similarly, declining rate of interest. This is most important point for retail banking. Earlier, personal loans were available at the rate of 14-15%. Nowadays, within 8-9% interest, personal loans are available. Housing loan is between 7 to 7.5%. So the moment all these rates decline, large number of people they are going to take all these benefit, and indirectly retail banking came in a larger way. Similarly, increases in financial literacy. In the last 2 decades, people they are more aware about the bank and retail banking, debit card, credit card, how to use ATM and all. Similarly, higher adaptability of technology in the last 2 decades. I can say in the last 3 decades, large number of technologies used by the bank, and nowadays the policy of the bank is no need to come to the branch. You can do your all work either through CDM, ATM machine, or internet banking. So technological friendly attitude is enhancing the middle class, and that is why retail banking is booming. Then growing consumerism, more spending for the present. This is called change in the attitude. Earlier people they are saving for the future, but nowadays young generation they are living present life, so they are spending more and more money for their present needs rather than saving for future. This is the social psychological changes in the consumerism which we are teaching in a marketing management and all. So because of that, retail banking is having more options. Similarly, changing in the mindset, like willing to borrow or lend. Like earlier people they are generally not taking loan, but nowadays people immediately they are taking loan for a two-wheeler, loan for four-wheeler, even for loan for mobile phone, iPhones, laptop and all. So people their mindset was entirely changed, and people they are taking loans and all very frequently, which is one of the positive factor for retail banking. Then desire to improve lifestyle. This is also called social psychological impact. People they are having their own attitude, their own lifestyle, and that they want to maintain, and because of that they are more relying on banks for their retail banking needs. Larger NPA in mega sector. This is one of the important financial aspect. Earlier, banks they are giving larger loans like 50 crore, 100 crore rupees loan to the industries, which they are not able to recover. So because of that, they had shifted their paradigm in a retail banking. And when they are giving 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees loan to we people are more honest as compared to the big industrialist. And we easily they can recover money from we people as compared to big sector. So likewise that these are the factors which are affecting in retail banking. Here I just want to show what is the structure of middle class. If you see in 2011 middle class was only 13.1%. If I can say in terms of total population, maybe in number it is 31.4 crore, something like that. Okay. And now you can see in 2015-16 in terms of percentage 20.3. So 5 year more than 7% different. And this is the estimation by the 25-26 middle class, maybe 37% of the total population. So keeping all these factors in a mind, retail banking and banks, they are more focusing on retail banking area as compared to other field. And this is the development of customer centric retail banking strategy. As I told, 2.5 decade or 3 decade before, whatever the mindset of the they are enhancing the customer experience. and based on the feedback, what feedback we are giving for a particular facility or what we need in future, accordingly bank people, they are enhancing facilities and they are giving a good experience to the customer. And break down the silos means whatever hierarchy, whatever rigidness, that they are changing and they are entering in an area where earlier banks were not there. So in that way they are trying to capture each and every aspect of customer. Like 20 years before, you cannot think finance is available for your mobile phone, finance is available for your laptop. But now all these kinds of finance is available. What I'm trying to say, these are the retail banking strategy nowadays adopted by most of the private and government banks. These are the four different innovations which are happened in retail banking. Product innovation, as you know, there are so many products like personal loan, housing loan, two-wheeler, four-wheeler loan. Likewise, that process innovation is very important, because if you compare 30 years before, what kind of banking, maybe Chako sir, he knows very well, and if suppose large number of students they are listening, maybe their age group maybe 20-25, so they may not aware, but those who are doing banking transaction 30 years before, what kind of bank and now what is the process, entirely different process with the internet, with the technology and all. So this is happen. Then position innovation means contextual shift of the product and services in one dimension to another dimension. Like 20-30 years before, people they are hesitating to loan and to pay EMI, but nowadays very proudly people they are using credit cards and all as a regular feature. So change in the mindset, this is the most important thing. And last one is paradigm shift or paradigm innovation. So mental model entirely change, behavior models are changed. Even a person is taking a loan of 40-50 lakh rupees and buying a flat. In society, people not thinking in a bad way. But earlier, when a person is taking loan and buying a property, many people in the society, they are having different attitude. He's buying a property with loan, what kind of person? That kind of changes happen in the society in the last 2-3 decades. So banking is fully with these four kind of innovation. Maybe in future we can see some different type of innovations and all. And these are the some leading innovations. I think almost everybody is familiar. Electronic payment of services, RTGS is very popular, electronic fund transfer is very popular, electronic clearing services, if we are giving a check within a same day they are clearing with internet facility. ATM machines, CDM machines we are using, point of sales terminals, the swipe machines and all, telebanking, net banking we people are using. Most important is electronic data interchange. It is not for retail customer, but it is bank to bank and bank to government and bank to corporate companies. This is very important information. And payment banks came and UPI, like what is called your Paytm and all, Google Pay and all these. Nowadays, these payment banks are very popular. Up to 2 lakh rupees you can deposit and you can pay your retail payment. So what I'm trying to say, all these innovations were, if you see the banking industry in the year 91, it was not there. So these are the very significant changes. Now, what are the innovations for rural area? Self-help group bank linkage is there. If somebody knows about rural area and banking facilities, this is one of the most important innovation. Microfinance came with full IT facility. Rickshaw banks are popular. Two employees, they are sitting in rickshaw, they are taking cash box and going to door, village to village, and with the thumb impression, they are depositing money or lending in a rural area, which is very popular in Andhra and all. Kisan credit cards are very popular, just like your debit card and credit card. So they can withdraw money for their purchases of urea and fertilizer and seeds and all. And a special project like SBU, KC unit. I mean, what I mean to say, 30 years before, these were not that much popular as compared to nowadays. So because of that, even in rural area, banking, retail banking facilities are almost available. Now, here I am going to discuss what are the challenges happen in the post COVID-19 situation. As we know, The moment in March 2020, this COVID announcement came, and probably 23rd March, we went for lockdown and all. So what happened? Banking sector is a sector which is largely affected because suddenly for 50, 55 days, everything is stuck. So they are not able to collect their, EMIs and all. This is one way. One side, many customers, they are not able to pay their EMI because of their poor liquidity and poor profitability to the bank. And another side, what happened? As I told, when bank is not getting their principal amount from lakhs of customers, so they are not able to lend money to the other needy people, maybe lower business people or lower customer. So banking sector, they are affected from both side. One side, they are not getting liquidity, they are not getting profitability. Another side, they are not in a capture their present customer because of shortage of fund. So in that way it is affected. Then three vital reason where bank has to face challenges: that regulation, digitalization, and lower interest. Regulation means suddenly some regulations came from RBI, like loan moratorium and postponement of interest for 6 months. So that they have to follow. They have to strengthen their digitalization because suddenly more focus is on digital banking. So sometimes what happened, their internet is blocked, or poor networking, so they have to spend more money on that particular part. At the same time, they have to decrease the rate of interest. So these are the three dimensions which are forcing retail banks in a different way in COVID situation. Similarly, higher level of credit loss, as I told, just last week, one report came in, I think, the Hindu, that nearly 50 lakh people, they lost their job even in this second wave, directly or indirectly. So definitely it will affect banking system because many people, those who are in private sector, many people, they have a housing loan, car loan, or whatever EMIs, and they are not able to pay. So in that way credit loss is there. Digital disruption is there because of some other people, they are entering. The moment this COVID came, other companies, they had started this digital facility. So another challenges came for the retail banking because other companies, they are going to provide similar kind of facilities. For example, post office, they have a payment bank facilities nowadays. So many people, they are utilizing this particular thing also. Restructuring of banking sector because, as I told, they lost their capital in a form of NPAs. So they are requesting to the government, please recapitalize, otherwise we will not able to sustain in a market. And probably I think in last October 2020, government of India, they had given 70,000 crore rupees in a form of recapitalization to the banking sector. Then lower generation of revenue because declining customer retention, and reduce and remote working of a staff because generally 50% staff is working, so they are not able to capture their all the customers. Then pressure on the net interest income due to off center interest expenses. So these are the certain areas where retail banking, they have a lot of pressure, lot of challenges because of this COVID situation. Similarly, additional provision for their own increases of expenditure. And most important point, NPA regularly increases from March, April, May, June, July. After July, August, only slowly people, when they got income and they had started paying EMI. So as compared to 2019, in 2020, NPAs were more than double. So, and stress assets means assets from where bank is not getting their EMIs and all. So this is one of the peculiar situation for the bank, how to manage their NPAs. And higher cost for lightning on operation means more and more digital transactions. So because of that, slowly their cost of transactions increases like that. I mean, these are the certain point which I want to highlight. What are the challenges happen? Now, what are the transformation happen in COVID situation? So what kind of model they had changed? So developing a customer centric business model. Most of the bank, They are analyzing what is the situation of the customer. So accordingly, they have developed. Like for example, many small business concern, they are not able to pay salary to their employees. So salary loans are offered by the bank for 6 months, 7 months. So at least you can pay 50-60% salary to their customer, I mean their employees and all. Then optimizing distribution, uses of more technology. So because of technology, they want to sell their large number of product in a different area. Simplifying business and operation model. So everywhere they are trying to minimize complication and all. Digital transformation is one of the important area. So changes in the mindset of people with so many advertisement, and practically they try to explain, and more focus is on innovation culture. So this is the happen in the last 1.5 year, what bank people they are doing. Vital innovation and capabilities required to enhance the transformation. Now every bank they understand this situation is lasting for a long period of time. Even if economy is open, now people they are going for more and more online. So how to go for different kind of innovation? Proactively managing risk, regulation and capital, this is very important area for retail banking. And then data security and cyber security. So these are the two area where bank has to do lot of transformation, and many bank they have done. For example, in SBI earlier you can withdraw 20,000 rupees, but the moment nowadays you are withdrawing more than 10,000, one OTP is coming in your mobile. This is for double security purpose. Other than whatever your PIN number in your ATM card and all, likewise that different bank they had done different kind of transformation. Probably this slide may be a little bit small, you can't see properly, but just go through what kind of banking operation and what modification done by the bank that I had summarized here. Whatever I told, a similar thing is given in a table form. Yeah, you see how retail banking transformation happened in the last 1.5 years. So you see risk and privacy. This is one of the important area where retail banking, corporate banking, every aspect we are doing. And technology and data security, these are the two core area where nowadays retail banking they are focusing more and more. Apart from that, whatever market infrastructure they have to restructure, that is one different thing. And what are the payment area, since people they are in lockdown, people they are in home, so how they are going to provide different payment avenues. These are the transformation which are happen, and bank people they are working in this particular area. And another area is talent management. Talent management means managing your key employees. Like every organization, nearly 20 to 30% their employees they are key employees. Without that you cannot survive. So suppose if people they are switching over, because you are cutting salary, you are cutting allowances, so people they are switching over from one company to another company. So how you are going to retain? These are the area where retail banks they have to focus more and more. And now, what are the important measures taken in post COVID-19 situation? So they are trying to satisfy the customer as per their requirement, and banks can enhance customer experience, even though time, cost effectiveness, service effectiveness, as and when they need their loans and all. Immediately if bank people they are trying to provide all these facilities. And tailor made product, this is most important, because nowadays every businessman, every individual customer, their requirement is entirely different. Some people they need loan for their day to day individual activity, but small business people they need tailor made product for their working capital, something like that. So in that way they are managing. And similarly, extent of technology in bank, whatever technology till March 2020 and what technology they are changing, this is another important criteria. So many bank they had changed their technology. I mean, their internet facilities are better, more powerful internet, more powerful satellite, large number of machines are working properly in the form of CDM machine, like that. Similarly, this delivering a product to the customer in safe, secure, and prompt environment. This is most important thing, because customer safety is one of the biggest area. So you can see in many bank, automatic sanitizer machines are there, and most of the employees, they are wearing gloves and all, and face shield and all. So in that way, they are trying to protect themselves as well as their customer. And similarly, redeployment of higher level manpower, because from urban area to rural area, they are shifting their more business. Similarly, they are trying to redeploy their manpower in a different branches. Similarly, another important area is pricing of the product, because this COVID situation, people's their income is little bit lower as compared to the previous situation. So that is why bank people, they had decreases the rate of interest. At the same time, they had decreases the deposit rate. Like nowadays, for 1 year deposit, only 5% interest paid by the bank. Earlier, they are paying 6.5% to 7 point. So pricing of the product is another area where most of the banks, they are working. And quality of relationship management. Suppose a customer from the last 4 5 months, he is not able to pay your EMI, but he is a very sincere customer from the last 10 year. So how you are going to manage relation? On one side, you want your EMI, at the same time you want to retain your customer. So customer relationship management is another area where large number of banks, they are working. These are the some other point, like they are targeting a right customer with the right product with the right price. Improvement in online sense, this is the area where large number of banks, they are focusing with various payment channels and all. And capital planning, as I told, government of India, for government banks, they had given more than 70,000 crore rupees in a form of recapitalization. At the same time, many NPAs, they are settling out of the legal way, so at least they can maintain their capital in a proper way. These are the certain measures taken by the banks in retail sector. Now maybe 2 3 more slides are there. So these are the future of retail banking. Like now COVID is a reality, and we people knows COVID is not going very soon. Maybe it will take 2 year 3 year, maybe it will take 5 years slowly. So what kind of modification we need with the retail banking sector? So they have to provide differentiated services, and large number of banks, they are working, they had already started different type of product which are suited to the different customer. For example, medium, small and micro enterprises, they are also taking retail loans for their business activities. For them, they have a different type of segment. Deliver convenience, this is another very important. As I told, in India 45% population is below the age of 40, but at the same time above 50 we have a 30 to 35% population. So we need delivery at convenience, because many people, they can't come to your branch, maybe because of old age. So they need different type of convenience. So in future, you have to think about all these aspects. Then a smart pricing strategy. You have to develop your retail market in, again in subsection, again in subsegmentation, and for each subsegment you have to charge a different price. So in future, your again middle level and lower level customers, maybe they have a 3 4 different segment. So accordingly, you have to price of your product with the latest technology. Then manage the complexity. Some people, they are avoiding this online transaction and all because of the complex nature. So how bank people, they are going to manage all these? This is their future of retail banking, depends upon how they are managing complexities. And process improvement and efficiency, this is the area where everyday bank has to work, because the moment you are developing a new product, process may be entirely different, and that process is easily able to understand by the middle level and lower level customer, even though many customer, they may illiterate rural area. So in that way, these are the 5 pillars which are related with the future of the retail banking. And when I'm talking about this particular slide is exclusively for government bank. When a government bank is going for transformation, as we know, they have to follow government rules regulation. Apart from RBI rules regulation, they have to follow the government rules regulations. Suddenly, Suddenly they cannot change their rules. So whenever they are changing, whenever they are adopting any transformation, this 5 parameter they have to satisfy. Any change which is political acceptability, means in India, whenever bank is going to make any kind of transformation and change, we need political acceptability. When finance minister or political parties they are not ready, you cannot go for a long time. Then social desirability of change. What is the social need of the change? Like ATMs came 20 years before, it was a social need. Like DBT, direct benefit transfer, came in bank, it is a social requirement to minimize the time and corruption. Feasibility of change. You can adopt a complex technology, you can adopt a very higher level technology, but whether technically it is feasible in a society, whether society is ready to accept that, you have to evaluate. Then financial viability in both aspects. If you are going to transform any technology, how much money you need and what is the operating cost. For example, the moment ATMs came, probably establishment of ATM cost around 42 to 50 lakh rupees. That is why to maintain ATM, I think every bank is charging 120 rupees every year. Plus SMS charges are some 22. Altogether, we people are paying, including GST, some 147 rupees per account per year. This is called financial viability. Because when they are going for transformation, they have to invest crores of rupees. So, what is their operating cost? How they are going to manage all these operating costs in social point of view, that they have to adjust. And last one is administratively attainable. Whatever change, whatever transformation you are going to think, how you are going to administer. So these are the 5 parameters which are very important for government bank in a COVID situation whenever they are going for transform. What kind of retail or what kind of their business activities. This is the model suggested by one particular company in COVID situation, what they have to do. So these are the 5 dimensions. I think already I had covered. Everything is given in a systematic way, like future workplace, how you are going to design, what is your HR policies, what is your performance and productivities, what is the effective leadership, middle level and top level managers, what kind of changes they have to do, what are the changes in the culture. For example, if I can say in Kerala culture, so in Kerala, most of the, whether a retail business, grocery business or banking business, most of the daytime business, as compared to when I'm saying metro cities or other places. So in every state they have their own peculiar culture and nature. So how you are going to manage with the transformation, this is also you have to adjust. Policies and facilities of management related to NPAs and all, and technological considerations. So these are the 7 areas. If any bank is able to manage in this COVID situation, they are the leader, they are the front forerunner in this particular situation. And what are the future course of action in COVID-19 situation? So digital transformation we need. Then change management is very important. Now everybody has to adjust in a crisis management or change management, how you are going to adopt. Nobody knows 1.5 years before suddenly this kind of situation. Even in our teaching, nobody knows how to use Google Meet and all. And today we all are doing more than 90% work in this particular platform. What I mean to say, in retail banking also, they have to ready for change management, cost management and cyber security. This is very important. What cost you are going to charge for your services. At the same time, data and privacy security we need. New market entry. This is called, in marketing, we are using one term, blue ocean strategy. A market where less competition or negligible competition, their retail banking sector, they have to enter. So easily they can capture the market and it is, big business for them. For example, 10 years before, BPL families, they don't have a banking facilities because of this minimum 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees balance. But in 2014, the moment government has taken a decision, this Jan Dhan Yojana, all the government and private bank they had opened. So directly, indirectly, it enhanced their liquidity whenever DBT or any money is given by the government through this particular system. So in that way, they have to develop a new market in a different area. Workforce safety and security. Don't think this COVID is going to be over within a year and you have to forget all these. No, in future also you need same kind of security and safety for your employees. Then employee engagement and communication, how you are communicating with your employee in this particular situation. For example, some people they are not happy with salary cut, but it is a middle level and top level management, their way of leadership and communication, how to motivate the people. It is only for a short period of time. I know one private college, the moment last April COVID came, they had cut it 50% salary. It is a very big group, but they communicated, we are not cutting salary, we are postponing your salary. The moment normal situation will come, we will pay. And after 6 months, they had paid whatever 50% amount they had kept reserve as a security. So in that way, when you have a effective communication, I think it is very useful. You can use e-platform, but e-platform will affect the transport and hotel business, because now people they are not traveling, so these business they are going to affect directly. And changes in the learning and development model, now you have to always in a dynamic mode. You can't think you know everything. Every year you have to learn, you have to develop, whether you are a rover level employee or whether you are in a bank or whether you are in every area. So these are the certain very important changes which we have to follow during this COVID-19 situation. And finally, how I'm going to conclude this retail banking, as I told, since my main focus is on retail banking and COVID. So the moment companies they are offering differentiated services as per the requirement of the customer due to the salary cut or financial instability, this is the one of the area where they have to work more and more. At the same time, convenience in the delivery of services, because many people they are working from home because of this particular situation. And in IT companies, maybe this situation may be a permanent situation, maybe 50% work from home, 50% from office. So accordingly you have to develop your product. Pricing strategy is another very important area where retail banking sector they have to think how to price a particular product. Efficient management of complexity is one of the key area. If a company is able to manage this one, they are the definitely leader in a particular segment. And most important area nowadays government is focusing on what is called financial inclusion. So all these transformation, if they are aligned with the financial inclusion and they are the beneficial for the bottom line of the pyramid, bottom line of the society, or we can say the last lower segment of the society or lower customer, if all these are beneficial to this particular group, then definitely whatever transformation, it is very useful for the society and very useful for the people. So I hope I have taken your lot of time and I have given some justification related to retail banking and all. So thank you very much for all of you for your patientfully listening. If any question or any doubt, you are most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Pradeep sir, for that comprehensive and interesting session on Indian retail banking sector on post-COVID era. I have received a question from one of the participants. So the question is, how will COVID affect the social inclusion through retail banking sector?
Yeah, yeah, it is a
Repeat
very
the question,
important
please.
question. It is very important question. As I told in my last two slides, whenever you are transforming a banking system, you have to always think about the bottom line of the pyramid, BPL families, or we can say lower class families. So while transformation, Because I will say a simple thing. Last week, government they had transferred this DBT, direct benefit transfer to the farmers, this 2,000 rupees. And the moment this news came, next day onward, I have seen a long queue of the poor people, farmers in the bank because they want to withdraw. So whenever you are going to transform your retail banking, you have to think all these. Like they are arranging one, shamiana, one tent for the poor people, proper social distancing, proper safety measures. Apart from these people, they are coming to a particular bank. If customers are more, they can divide this bank in a small, only for 1 week, what is called satellite counters in every 1 kilometer and 2 kilometer nearby to the rural area. So people no need to come to the large branch and easily they can withdraw their money because for poor farmer, this 2,000 rupees is a big amount to buy seeds and all. Similarly, for this widow pension, or there are so many financial schemes by the government, money is coming from DBT. So this is the responsibility of the bank, how social inclusion or financial inclusion effectively they are managing in this particular situation. Okay, any other
Okay, thank you,
question?
sir. So one more question was there. There are private sector bank and public sector bank. Private sector banks work with profit motive, whereas public sector takes into account inclusion of people. So which is actually more beneficial to common people?
No, for common people, definitely government bank is beneficial, no? Because as I told my last slide, when you are going for any transformation in government bank, 5 areas you have to consider. Whether social acceptability is there. Because if you remember in 1969, why Srimati Indira Gandhi they nationalized bank? Because nationalization of bank for the common people. And they also government bank they are working with various government schemes. So no doubt private banks they are also working for society, but their ultimate objective is profit making. And last week if you see the Hindu Business Line and the Times of India, results came for many banks, and ICICI, HDFC Bank, their profit, even in pandemic situation, their profit increases by 30-35% quarter to quarter basis. So they are very particular about their profitability, their business, but at the same time, social bank they have a social commitment. Government bank they have a social commitment. Government is having their commitment. For example, when DBT direct benefit is transferring mostly from government bank, so you see how many lakhs of people they are involved in their payment and how many hours they are spending for issuing the money to the poor people. So definitely a country like in India where we have a social objective, government banks are always preferred. And in this particular situation, government has to focus more and more on government bank. That is why I told more than 70,000 crore rupees money given by the finance minister 6 months before to these public sector bank, because they are losing their capital, because large number of people they are not repaying EMI, so that money is going to block. So to exist in a society we need government support as well as public support also. So definitely for social inclusion, financial inclusion, no doubt in India, this government bank is having one of the important feature.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
thank you, sir. One last question, please. There are finance technologies like India Stack, which is a platform that promises easy scale products and services in digital transactions. And India Stack is a newer in financial tech space. So how will it positively influence in Indian retail banking sector?
Yeah, definitely. This is the part of the technological transformation. Nowadays, you see bank people, apart from their core banking, they are having tie-up with so many financial institutions, so many companies for this payment gateway. So definitely in future, if bank people, they are entering in, very, very different type of technology, very different type of agreement, very different type of this payment system, definitely it is fruitful for banking sector, and they have to do. 30-year before, 20-year before, nobody knows that with debit card and credit card, even 10-year before, we are not aware through what is called Google Pay and Paytm, we can pay UPIs, this Bheem app and all, so many apps are there, we can make a payment, but nowadays it is possible. So in that way, retail banking sector, they have to enhance their business area. That is why one thing I told, now blue ocean strategy, you have to analyze your system, and where less competition or where bank is not able to serve the people, they have to enter in that particular area and capitalize this opportunity. This is going to be happen in future. So definitely whatever you told, that kind of platform, that kind of technology, they have an important role in future.
Thank you so much, sirs, for the presentation as well as insightful session. Now I call upon Dr. Chako Jospi for officially thanking Pradeep sir for his session.
I'm extremely happy to have a very wonderful session by Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh. When I discussed with him about making a presentation for this conference, he readily agreed, and I suggested you speak on one of the aspects of life in 2020, and he said, I will be happy to speak on banking setup. So he has kept his promise. He has highlighted all the possibilities that could happen in banking sector, and he has also highlighted in what way our perceptions have changed over the years, especially the examples he said about the society's perceptions of taking a loan. When we started our career, or maybe 20, 30 years back, people thought that taking a loan is not at all good. But now you say that the person who takes the maximum number of loan is the richest person. So these perceptional changes has made banks to come up with the newer products, and these newer products have made our life easier. Whether it will make our life complicated on a later date is a different question, but for the time being, it has made our life easier. When we are in need of funds, they are there always to help. And he has also highlighted the 5 pillars on which you have to analyze the situation. So I'm sure this has benefited the listeners. A large part of the listeners are research scholars and students. So it has given them enough material for their research process. So I'm extremely thankful to Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh for delivering the keynote address in this national webinar on life in the 2020s. The 2020s is surely a decade that we have never seen, and we are not sure how it is going to be. So thank you, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, for that insightful lecture. Thank you. Over to you, Krishnagiri.
Thank you, Chako sir. Now we move on to our technical session and presentation. Our session will be chaired by Dr. Anna Menteen, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, KI's Pune College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Maharashtra. Our technical session will be moderated by Nijal Jacobi, Assistant Professor on Contract at Sacred Heart College, Chalakudy. So over to you, Nijal sir.
Yes, thank you, Krishnagiri, for a nice introduction. Hope I'm audible, right? Yes. Yes.
You are.
Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon. We have received around 19 research papers for the presentation from different states of India. So first of all, I would like to invite Dr. Anna to give just a brief idea about. Sorry. First of all, I would like to invite Dia Akbar, the student Rajagiri College of Management and Applied Science, to present her paper, and then Dr. Anna will be commenting on that. Over to you, Dia.
Thank you. May I please get the permission to present the screen? It's shown that I need to ask the organizer.
Yeah, can I have your name once more as it is on the screen?
Yeah, Akbar.
Dia
First
Akbar,
name?
sir. Dia Akbar. DIY.
Dia. Oh, okay.
Dia.
Okay, just one moment. Okay, you are now the presenter. You can present.
Thank you. Okay. In the eve of 2019, everyone would have scoffed at anyone who predicted the next 12 months, right? Good afternoon to all. I'm Dia Akbar of Rajagiri College of Management and Applied Sciences, and I'm here to present my paper, a study on the impact of COVID-19 in the present business milieu. May I know if the slide changed?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. A world like now is the least expected prognosis of all. Tomorrow rests on a huge question mark, and the root cause of all these lie on COVID-19, the chaotic pandemic of 21st century. So, obviously, COVID-19 led to a lot of changes, and it also fueled changes in the sector of business as well. But what is the nature of changes? Obviously, COVID-19 had a detrimental effect all over the world, but did it actually exert a detrimental effect on business realm as well? So, and there remains a lot of questions regarding that. So from that, I've retrieved my objective. So let us move to the first objective. So as I just said right now, COVID-19 caused a lot of vivid modeling, has also led to drastic changes. And the nature of this change is quite ambiguous. So from this, we have two questions here. What has COVID-19 done to the business world? And second one, is Corona a good Samaritan of business? So from this, I've retrieved my first objective to study the role of COVID-19 in the realm of business. Next, so we know that COVID-19 has exerted a certain impact on business, but is the impact or the nature of the change same for small scale business or large scale business? Like, has Corona benefited both, or has Corona inserted a detrimental effect on both? So from this, I've retrieved my second objective, that is to analyze the business milieu on both large scale and small scale business on the ground of COVID-19. Next, COVID-19 hit the business realm. There emerged a refined form of digitalization. But that unfolded a myriad of perplexities, like, is digitalization just confined to digitalizing stuff? Digitalization boosts performance. Is it a myth or a reality? And the business organizations that survived COVID-19 did they have the backup or the support of digitalization? And there remains a lot of questions. So all these together into one big question: how has digitalization evolved under the pandemic? So I've retrieved my first question from this. My last objective from this, that is to conduct a thorough analysis of how digital evolution has taken place during the pandemic and to highlight the relationship between business and digital transformation. So this is an overview of my statement of problem and the objective. So the statement of the problems and the objectives is being displayed here. Now methodology. So I've opted for secondary data. I referred articles, reports, websites, journal articles, and it was it was most definitely very enlightening for me to reach to my insights. Now, the limitations that I faced while doing the study. So the accuracy of your data was quite doubtful, which led to a confusion on what to rely on. And most importantly, the present world is highly volatile. What is expected tomorrow is happening today. And God knows what pandemic or what catastrophe is waiting for us in the future days. So it was quite hard to interpret the reality in this ground. Now I'll show you some important diagrams and graphs under the literature review. Now let us move to findings and expositions. So COVID-19 helped to escape from the dodgy business models and establish a new digitalized business operating model. And it also contributed towards inculcation of anti-fragility and scenario planning. These two elements are extremely important for the survival of any business organization in the coming days. Anti-fragility and scenario planning make sure that their structure or their operating models remain unaffected in case of any pandemic, any catastrophes, or any issues. And it also remodeled the entire employee ecosystem into new current ecosystem teeming with efficiency. It also inculcated the golden element of resilience. As I said before, like anti-fragility and scenario planning, this resilience also fuels this security of an organization. And they also developed a lot of epiphanies in this period. Like, as I said before, they remodeled the entire employee ecosystem. This was fueled by one of that epiphany that human is the key element of success. So the expositions from these findings is that COVID-19 acted like a catalyst towards the improvement, towards the new reality, and COVID-19 paved way for new reality. Next. So if I'm telling you all that the rich became richer by $637, it sounds quite uncanny, right? But it is the truth, because all these billionaires who became richer were those who adopted digital leadership even before COVID-19. Because in most of the organizations, they denied or they disdained most of the technological gradations that the technophiles extolled once. But these were the billionaires or the organizations that did not ignore it, whereas they accepted into their organization, and they had a smooth run in COVID-19. And about small scale business, they struggled throughout this period and they had a very hard time, and a lot of them didn't survive. But however, they were extensively exposed to the realm of digitalization, and digitalization became the new normal for both small scale as well as large scale. So Corona essentialized the collusion of digitalization in the best business realm. So my expositions are: the large scale business benefited from this, even though they they faced certain profit margin downfalls, and their business milieu is filled with digital transformations, employee ecosystem, and various business models. And small scale business had a strenuous time, but they are being exposed to the field of digitalization and is developing like gradually. Now, moving on to the last findings and expositions. So Corona essentialized the collusion of digitalization in the business realm. It was explicitly seen that success resided with those who digitalized themselves. Even those companies who once had mind-blowing turnovers did not survive this COVID-19 just because they ignored digitalization or digital leadership. So digital acceleration took place in this period extensively, and they dived into the fields of digital leaderships, decoding one's digital DNA, digital models, and so on and on. So in this period, it was either go digital or go bust. That was the only motto that was prevailing in the business realm. So various reports shows a positive relationship between digital transformation and the growth of business organizations. And the digital acceleration in that period happened extensively. Now let us move to the suggestions. The business firms are ought to continue in the same pace towards more acceleration of not only digitalization as well as in other fields like agile methodology and so on. The firms have to perceive the opportunities around them. Like they should not wait for another pandemic to receive this epiphanies, because what is happening right now, the digital transformations and all the elements within it was once advised by a lot of consulting firms, a lot of researchers, but was ignored. So let's not wait for another pandemic to receive the epiphanies and go forward. And small scale has to be backed up with needed digitalization, whereas there are firms who are doing it, but it is suggested that all the firms take into the action into that. And business firms should probe more on digital leadership and transformation, because before COVID, most of the firms didn't go for this, and now they're suffering. But right now, this post-COVID, maybe post first wave COVID, they are realizing, they're receiving epiphanies, and right now a lot of organizations are regretting. So the conclusions, the future of business lies on the energy to accept, accelerate, and evolve opportunities. Digitalization has to be carried along with long journey of uncertainties. COVID-19 led to multiple epiphanies which the business world wouldn't have realized in the absence of Corona. And this is an overview of my bibliography. And thank you. And I would like to express my gratitude for giving me an opportunity to present in front of a lot of educated and a lot of inspired personalities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dia. It was a wonderful presentation. So I would like to call Dr. Anna. Over to you, Dr. Anna.
Nitin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. Dia, it was a very nice presentation. You have presented very well. You have nature and impact of COVID-19 on business milieu, and your study was based on the role of COVID-19 in the realm of the business. And as you have used the secondary data for your study, and you proved that COVID-19 has acted like a catalyst for the big business organizations. But of course, many of the small scale industries have had a spend of time to survive in the market. And the overall outcome of your study was also related to the digital acceleration that has took place extensively during this period of pandemic. Your presentation was very nice. The topic is really good. It is as per the current scenario that we do require a lot of research in different subjects of which are related to COVID-19. And I think it was a wonderful presentation. You can add suggestions, more as suggestions for SMEs and how they can revive, how they can overcome the difficulties being faced by them during the pandemic. Thank you so much, Dia. Very well done.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. Our next presenter is Sheena Matthew, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Basilius Paulus II College, pyramidum. So over to you, Sheena Matthew. Sheena Matthew, are you there? Sheena Matthew,
Yes, sir.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you can press it now.
Good afternoon to all. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to present this paper. For clarity reasons, let me switch off my video and share the screen. Our research paper for the presentation is titled as Perceived Ease of Use of Social Media Platforms on Mobile During Lockdown. Myself, Sheena Matthew, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Basilius Paulos II College, Permada. This paper is co-authored by Dr. Vineet K. Assistant Professor of Commerce, Government College, Tripura. Social media is originated as a way to interact with the friends and family, which helps one to keep in touch with their dear ones. It is a computer or mobile-based technology that facilitates the sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information through virtual networks and communities. This platform has offered new opportunities for creating and sharing various activities like photo sharing, video sharing, blogging, social gaming, social networks, virtual world, reviews, researchers, career opportunities, and much more. The focal point of its use is that it connects the people across the globe with like-minded interests and share their own thoughts, feelings, and insights online. The various networking media like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, etc. have added enthusiasm and excitement to people, which make them spend hours on internet-based applications. Nowadays, the use of social media networking is made compelling for various purposes. We have done few relevant reviews of literature. Rebecca Sheen, Kumanan Wilson, and Jennifer Keelan explained that social media is becoming a powerful addition and utilized currently as broadcasting platform to amplify messages from traditional media sources to reach the target audiences. Michelle Lane and Philip Coleman revealed that higher perceived ease of use leads to higher perceived usefulness and ultimately greater intensity of use of the social networking media. It is expected that those with high ease of use social network media found more useful. Osa Ashi and Agatha Jifty Larson revealed that social media has exploded as a category of online discourse where people create content, share it, bookmark it, and network the same at a prodigious rate. Ali Mohammed et al. Revealed that social networking media are becoming popular among students and teachers in higher education. Researchers have also started to explore the use of social networking media for teaching and learning in higher education. Coming to the statement of the problem, social media networks are the only platforms which are heavily depended by almost all human lives, be it rich or poor, businessmen or agriculturists, white-collar workers or daily wage earners, all depend much on social media for various purposes and reasons. With the development and advancement in technology, there arises a need to conduct a study on the perceived easiness of using social media platforms on mobile, which is considered to be a common device of the people to have a mass reach. The study aims at understanding the major factors that led to the preference towards networking media over mobile phone. Coming to the objectives of the study, the various objectives are to study the perceived ease of use regarding social media platforms, to assess the relationship among perceived ease of use and independent variables, to identify the association between demographic factors and perceived ease of use, to evaluate the usage of social media apps on mobile, The conceptual model adopted from Shubhendra Roy, who is a faculty of IIM, is these constructs: smartphone self-efficacy, perceptions of external control, smartphone playfulness, and perceived enjoyment, which in turn causes perceived ease of use. The present study is empirical in nature. The constructs and conceptual model has been adopted from Shubhendra Roy. Google Forms has been devised to collect responses, and it could collect 205 responses, which form the basis of the study. All the constructs are found to be reliable for statistical procedures with a Cron Panges alpha above 0.7. Test of normality produced significant p-values for all the constructs with p-value less than 0.05. And it could be inferred that the data is not normally distributed. Hence, non-parametric procedures are recommended for inferences. The study has the following research hypothesis. There is a significant perception towards perceived ease of use, smartphone self-efficacy, perception of external control, smartphone playfulness, and perceived enjoyment. There is a significant relationship between the dependent variable perceived ease of use and independent variables smartphone self-efficacy, perception of external control, smartphone playfulness, and perceived enjoyment. There is a significant association between the perception regarding perceived ease of use, smartphone self-efficacy, perception of external control, perceived enjoyment, and demographic factors. Table 1 shows the profile of the sample with cutting across different demographics in gender, age, region, education, and occupation. Table 2 shows that all the constructs, perceived ease of use, smartphone self-efficacy, perceptions of external control, smartphone playfulness, and perceived enjoyment are positively perceived, and the same is found to be statistically significant with a p-value less than 0.05. The correlation analysis between the variables produced significant positive relationship between the variables. With regard to the association between demographic factors and perception, perception towards smartphone playfulness alone is found to be significantly associated with gender with a p-value less than 0.05, wherein male users found to find it more playful than female users. Perceptions of external control and perceived enjoyment are found to be associated with age with a p-value less than 0.05. Users above the age of 50 find a low perception of external control and perceived enjoyment. Region of residence is not found to be significantly associated with the perception of users in social media apps with p-value greater than 0.05. Perception of external control and perceived enjoyment are found to be significantly associated with education with p-value less than 0.05. Users with postgraduate education have a high perception of external control and also perceived enjoyment. Occupation is not found to be significantly associated with the perception of users with p-value greater than 0.05. Usage of social media. WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram are found to be the most used social media platform among the users, and the same is found to be statistically significant with p-value less than 0.05. The low level of usage of Telegram and Twitter are also found to be statistically significant with p-value less than 0.05. Association between demographic factors and usage of social media. The usage of Twitter alone is found to be associated with gender with a p-value less than 0.05, and male respondents are found to be using Twitter more than female. Usage of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram are found to be associated with age with a p-value less than 0.05. The age group of 30 to 50 are found to be more using Facebook and WhatsApp, while the age group below 30 are found to be more using Instagram. Region of residence is not found to be associated with the usage of social media with p-value greater than 0.05. Usage of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram are found to be associated with education with p-value less than 0.05. While postgraduate respondents are using Facebook and WhatsApp more, Instagram is more used by undergraduates. Usage of Facebook and Twitter are found to be associated with occupation with p-value less than 0.05. Self-employed respondents are using Facebook more driven by the marketing opportunities. Twitter is found to be more used by the self-employed and salaried respondents. We also inquired the opinion of the respondents regarding the usage of social media during and after lockdown in 2020. The user's opinion regarding the increased usage of social media during and after lockdown in 2020 is found to be statistically significant with a mean value of 4.18, median of 4, and a p-value less than 0.05. Coming to the discussion, social media is growing in usage and content day by day. The adoption rates of mobile apps are becoming increasingly critical in the business realm due to the ease of use, quick access to specialized content, and engaging functionality. The perceived ease of use is found to be a prominent factor in the user adoption across different demographics. WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram lead the market with maximum usage pattern. Devising tools for content optimization is found to fetch enormous marketing opportunities through user engagement. Lockdown and the pandemic situation have increased the usage of the opportunities here. That's all for this paper. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shina, for a wonderful presentation. So hereby we'll be winding up the live presentation. So I invite Dr. Anna to conclude. Dr. Anna,
Thank you,
are you
Nitin.
there? Yes.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
I heard your paper and you have reviewed the literature extensively. That was very good. And you found out that the social media is becoming a powerful platform to amplify the messages from the traditional media sources to reach to the target audience. And there is a greater intensity of use and it's becoming popular amongst the students, teachers, along with the researchers. It's like just my suggestion that we can also include that even how the kids are using not the social media, I would say, but there are many apps being developed for user friendly by the kids of 5 to 10 years of age. That can be one suggestion for the study related to your theme. And you have studied the major factors that led to the preference towards networking media over the mobile phone, and you have collected the primary data and studied the perceived ease of use, which was a prominent factor in the user adoption across the different demographics. Very well presented, thoroughly studied, thoroughly presented, and I think the tool that you have used for your study, for your data analysis is also appropriate. And you can also include some relevance of technology enhancements that have taken place during this time period, and how it has also improved further the feasibility and the intensity of the use of social media. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. I have heard and listened to Dr. Sandeep Kaur and Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh's presentations, which were wonderful, and they have given very deep insights about the challenges being faced by the economies in agricultural sector, retail banking, and different ways to tackle them in a very efficient manner. I'm just putting forward my general views on the social, cultural, and economic impact of COVID-19. As we all know that the threat has projected a fatality and is showing different patterns in different countries. So the uniform response has been adopted by the nations, like the lockdown and physical distancing to ensure quarantine. But as these are considered as the most appropriate option by several governments across the world, concerns have been raised in terms of the technical competency and social feasibility that the countries possess in order to accomplish the goal of flattening the epidemic curve. The social, economic, and cultural implications of such an intervention to the social fabric of nations is also pondered upon by many social scientists. This situation has increased exclusion, discrimination, global unemployment in the medium and long term. We have to see even in the coming 2 to 4 years as well. Uh, Through the social distancing, like we have all observed and experienced that the self-quarantine, the people have developed empathy and intimacy amongst the family members at a larger scale, but also staying indoors for longer duration has inflicted social factors and caused psychological problems and violence by creating distances amongst the people, and has many physical and verbal disputes been reported at various areas within the nation and outside as well. The impacts of crisis are never gender neutral, and the COVID-19 is no exception. While everyone is facing unprecedented challenges, women are bearing the brunt of economic and social fallout of COVID-19. Women who are poor and marginalized face an even higher risk of COVID-19 transmission and fatalities, loss of livelihood, and increased violence. Globally, 70% of health workers and first responders are women, and yet they are not at par with their male counterparts. Women are overrepresented in many of the countries and many of the industries which are hardest hit by COVID-19, such as the food industry, the retail, and the entertainment. For example, 40% of all employed women, 510 million women globally, who work in hard-hit sectors, are working in these hard-hit sectors compared to the male counterparts, comprised of 36.6% as per the United Nations report. There are few cultural, drawbacks that have been seen. You can see a lot of cultural factors which have impacted the global economies, like the restrictive measures which were imposed by the government, has led to the cancellation of major arts and cultural events, including festivals and expos across the globe, and has disrupted the business, particularly of small and medium enterprises, many of which operate in the cultural sector. And these are the major sources of livelihood for many young and aspiring entrepreneurs. Beyond that, revenues derived by governments from both domestic and international tourism have completely disappeared overnight due to the immediate effects of the pandemic on the aviation and the related industry. All of these immediate challenges and difficulties have most definitely run into the post-pandemic period with serious consequences that we'll have to see in the near future. But one silver lining, though, which could potentially be an opportunity moving forward, is the potential for growth in the creative sector, leveraging the use of digital technologies and tapping into the creative capacity of artists, graphic designers, filmmakers, amongst others. Like we have seen that COVID-19 spread has left national economies and businesses counting the cost as governments struggle with new lockdown measures to tackle the spread of second wave of coronavirus. Despite the development of new vaccines, many are still wondering what recovery could look like. We have seen like there are different economic factors that have come across recently. There have been a global shares in flux. There has been big shift in stock markets where shares in companies are bought and sold, has affected the value of pensions and individual savings accounts also. The FTSE, Dow Jones, Industrial Average, and Nikkei all saw huge falls during the COVID-19 crisis. The major Asian and US stock markets have recovered, but not as much as they were prior to the pandemic that started. But the FTSE, which is still in the negative, is it is the worst performance of FTSE since 2008 as per the IMF report. In response to this pandemic, the central banks in many countries, including the UK, have slashed interest rates to make borrowing cheaper and encourage spending to boost the economy. Analysts are worried that the impact of further lockdowns and delays in vaccination programs which might trigger more market volatility this year. We all know that it was a difficult year for the job seekers. Many people have lost their jobs or seen their incomes cut. Unemployment rates have increased across major economies, like in the US. The proportion of people out of work hit a yearly total of 8.9%, according to IMF report. Millions of workers have also been put on government-supported job retention schemes as part of the economy sector. Tourism, hospitality have come to a near standstill. The numbers of new job opportunities are still very low in many countries, and some experts have warned that it could be years before levels of employment return to those that were seen before the pandemic. Many of the countries are facing the recession, that the global economy, and the IMF estimates that the global economy has shrunk by 4.4% in the 2020. The organization described the decline as the worst since the Great Depression of the 1930s. The only major economy to grow in 2020 was China and registered a growth of 2.3%. But IMF is already, however, it is predicting a global growth of 5.2% in 2021, primarily driven by countries like India and China. We all know that travel is still far from taking off. The travel industry has been badly damaged with airlines cutting flights and customers canceling business trips and holidays. New variants of this virus, which have been discovered only a few months back, have forced many countries to introduce tighter travel restrictions. Data from the flight tracking service Flight Radar 24 shows that the number of flights globally took a huge hit in 2020 and still a long way from the recovery. Hospitality sector, as we all know, that it has shut its doors worldwide. There is millions of people who have lost their jobs. This is the sector which has been hit the hardest by the pandemic. Now, when we come to the all the negatives, and there is one sector that we can see is winning, that is the pharmaceutical companies and the government around the world, since they have pledged billions of dollars for a COVID-19 vaccine and treatment options. The race for a COVID-19 vaccine throughout 2020 highlighted the important role of the viral vectors in the virotherapy and vaccine sectors in delivering effective vaccines and pharmaceutical treatments. It also demonstrated the industry's impressive agility and ingenuity. These are, there are certain companies who have developed vaccines, and they have shown a significant rise in their market capitalization, like Moderna, Novavax, Bharat Biotech, AstraZeneca. These are the two pharmaceutical companies who have new growth. So these are my insights regarding the entire, you can say, a gist of the social, cultural, and economic impact of COVID-19 in the 2020, and also we are facing the same problems and same issues in coming years, in the current year as well. Okay, coming back to the papers, I have gone through the paper presentations, and I must admit that all the researchers have chosen very topics from different backgrounds which have relevance in today's research arena. There's a huge gap. There's a lot of research required related to COVID-19, its impact, its effect on different sectors, industries. So, and many of you people have worked on the privacy data set and have used cutting-edge methodologies that was commendable. All the papers I found them, most of them were well structured, and the ideas were very clear to the researchers, and they knew that what they're doing. So I would like to congratulate all the researchers who have sent their PPTs and the ones who have also presented today. Fun. And at the end of this session, I would like to thank the principal of the Sacred Heart College, the head of the Department of Economics, Dr. Chalakudy, Dr. Shirley Ma'am, Mr. Nigel Jacobi, for providing me this opportunity to chair the technical session. And I would like to congratulate the entire team who has worked behind this particular conference to make it a success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Mateen, for accepting our invitation and sharing the technical session. And we are so happy to hear from you, and hope we can do more ventures in the future. Thank you, Anna.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, yes. So the participants will get a certificate after filling the feedback form, which will be shared in the this chat box, and you will receive a certificate within 2 to 3 days. And the presentation will continue as recorded videos, and there won't be a live presentation now. And paper presenters will get a certificate by mail, and we will get back to you through mail about the details of publication of your paper. Okay, thank you. And over to you, Krishnagiri.
Thank you, Nidal, for moderating our technical session. Now, to deliver a vote of thanks, I invite Dr. Chako Jospi, Associate Professor and Head of Economics Department, Sacred Heart College.
Thank you, Krishnagiri. So, my duty final vote of thanks. Sessions are continuing as recorded. So I would like to thank.
Sir, your audio is not clear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so I would like to thank Dr. Shirley Jose, who proposed the welcome address. She is the IQAC coordinator of our college, and the IQAC has been a part of this presentation, this entire seminar. So I would like to thank her for her wholehearted cooperation. I would like to say that it is the encouragement from the part of the IQAC that make us go for the events like this, and we are planning more events like this. For instance, we are planning a international conference in 2 weeks' time, the details of which will be shared with you. The topic of the presentation, will be topic of the conference will be economics of happiness and welfare. Okay. I would also like to thank Dr. Sandeep Kaur, who inaugurated the conference. In fact, I have already expressed my gratitude to her, but still, as part of formality, I would like to thank her for her presence here and for inaugurating the session. I would like to thank Dr. Pradeep Singh, who delivered the keynote address, and I would also like to thank Dr. Anna Martin, who moderated the paper presentation sessions. Anna did a very good analysis of all the papers. As you know, the 2 papers were presented live, and other papers will be played as recorded videos after this. So she has already seen all the papers, and she has made an evaluation of the papers. So I would like to thank her for making this effort. And she has also shared her views on how the economy is going to be in the 2020s. The post-COVID economy, we don't know when it will be actually post-COVID. If we define post-COVID as the time period after COVID started, we are now in post-COVID. But if you define it as the time period when COVID is over, we don't know whether when it is going to happen. Anyway, whether it happens immediately or after some more time, 2020 is going to be a totally different decade when compared to other decades the humanity has seen. So the challenges faced by, or is going to be faced by the economy and society and culture, these are all the highlight of the papers that are going to be presented. So I am extremely thankful to all the paper presenters who sent in the papers. they took the effort to record the video and send it to us. We decided to have a recorded video session because we have experiences in the past that many presenters find it difficult with the connectivity issues when it comes to presentation, and also time management becomes very difficult. So that is why we tried this method, and I'm thankful to all those who cooperated by sending in the papers. We will certainly be publishing it as an ebook of conference proceedings. The paper presenters will get their presentation certificate through email, and we will also share with you the details of publication, because we have to do things like plagiarism check, etc. Okay, so we will get back to you, paper presenters. Then all the participants, we are extremely thankful to you for participating in this conference. We had over 200 registrations from all over India, and they have all participated in this conference. And the video, so for some of them had messaged that they are having connectivity issues. So the video of this presentation of this conference will be available in our college website, the link of which will be shared with you, so that all of you can watch the video later and use it as also for reference purpose. So I think I would like to also thank my colleagues in the department, Dr. Nigel Jacobi, Ms. Jeannie Thomas, and Ms. Nicey Jose, and also Dr. Shirley, who is the associate professor in my department, for their wholehearted support and cooperation in running this conference. Mr. Nigel Jacobi has been taking care of all the videos that received, and downloading the videos and merging them together as one video to be played after this, and all the correspondence also of certification and all that. So a special word of thanks to Mr. Nigel Jacobi. And also I would like to thank Ms. Jeannie Thomas and Ms. Nicey Jose, other faculty members of the department, for their support. And I also thank all my students who have supported us in all way. They are all participating in this conference. And a special word of thanks to Ms. Krishna Gidi, who is the college union chairperson and also the final year degree student, economics BA student of the college. She has done the role of the moderator extremely well. We always try to make it a point that our students get a chance to be a part of the presentation panel when we organize any event like this. So I would like to thank Krishna Gidi for her for moderating this session. So once again, I thank everyone for their cooperation. I hope this conference has benefited you in your research and your studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chak, for the vote of thanks, and also for being our pillar of strength and for your unwavering support. Once again, thank you all the participants for joining us and for your cooperation throughout the conference. Do join us in our forward ventures, and please fill the feedback form given in the chat box. Please share the latest feedback form link, and you'll be receiving your participation certificates through mail within a span of 3 to 4 days. So thank you.